I have observed that when the president or any political actor, especially a political figure within this government, shows or demonstrates an opinion or indicates an opinion which is not in harmony with that of the NDC or let's say my brother Sam George, they go very emotional, they go very wild, they go to. But democracy, the essence of democracy is that people, whether in or out of government, should be able to express their positions and views. Even if it is so wrong, they are not evil for expressing their views. And the other wonderful thing about democracy is that you are told you can speak your mind, but there are ways or levels to that when you cross, you can get into trouble. In that same democratic dispensation. Why did they do that? They did that because they know talk, speeches, and opinions can throw the whole system out of gear and bend a country. They are aware. And they also put the constitution in place. But I mean, with all due respect, they've been through some judges' experience and age and everything, and they traveled 40 years down the line ahead of him. Most of the people. What did I mean? I'm not saying that is the modus operandi I adopt, but let's assume the worst case. There's a letter from the Secretary of the President on behalf of the President telling Parliament that, in my opinion, let's assume that it's even wrong. There is a case in court, and in order not to, how do you call it, have a situation where a court is determining a matter, and I'm also receiving a document to sign. Don't send me the document. Keep it until the court has finished. Let's assume that position is so wrong. Let's assume. Democracy allows it. So the next thing is that what is the cure? A letter could have emanated also from Parliament saying that ABC are the reasons you gave. They don't hold. They no more giddy giddy. Any of me I can no agent na whatever basa or tue.
Quite a number of viewers are sending text messages to say that they don't understand Ghana.
Yes.
And one of them is Antifosti.
Are you aware?
Who's been a crowd in life?
Antifosti, so that one.
She was the first complainant.
Are you aware? Any non-Ghana you meet came to our land.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Anyone you meet in Accra.
Okay.
Who is not a Ghana. We are actually hosting those people. But you are aware.
Meaning what?
Ah.
Meaning what?
Custodians of the land.
Oh.
Manche. So I want George to understand that democracy allows you.
Let me read this text message from Okoe Boye, who I always say wakes up that early to watch us from the United States. He says, criticism of the judiciary by individuals is a complex issue. In a democratic society, individuals have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which includes criticizing the judiciary. This helps hold the judiciary accountable for their actions and decisions. However, criticism should be constructive and respectful, without undermining the authority and integrity of the judiciary. The judiciary plays a crucial role in upholding the rule of law. An unfounded or malicious criticism can erode trust in the legal system. Criticism that scandalizes or obstructs the judiciary's functioning can be considered contempt of court, which is punishable by law. The judiciary's independence is essential for impartial decision-making. Criticism that aims to influence or intimidate judges can compromise this independence. Individuals have the right to criticize the judiciary, but this right comes with a responsibility to do so in a respectful and constructive manner, without compromising the integrity and independence of the judiciary. This is from Okoe Boye.
Okoe Boye
in the United States.
Yeah. No, the guy thinks like me.
Yeah?
The guy reasons like me. This is exactly the position I hold on these matters. He's a very smart guy. Doc. So the point I want to make, which your gentleman has summarized nicely, is that if I went to the dictionary to check, George used an expression, a phrase, planned judiciary. 80%.
No more.
George. but it looks like percent. Dog, easily bent.
Yes.
Easily influenced.
Yes.
Or directed.
Yes.
Yielding.
Yes.
This is how some judge is describing Ghana's judiciary now.
Yes.
And I've written another expression: we can't criticize the judiciary. And you reminded him. Nobody said you cannot criticize the judiciary. But look, why would the same people who said the essence of democracy is that we can speak or talk freely put in a clause that don't cross some lines? This is where we all go when we have an issue. In fact, if we go for the what's the word expression? The most sensitive or critical activity in this country is going for an election to elect the president. When there is conflict at the highest level, the place which is mandated or given authority to say that this guy is president and this guy is not, it's not parliament, it's not executive, it's the judiciary. Now, if the place where you go for decisions that are critical and sensitive, you sit behind and go like, these people are all rubbish, don't trust their judgment, these guys are influenced, in fact they are being directed from somewhere. No, the danger is that nobody would be going there for conflict resolution, and then you have a chaotic society where people resolve conflicts through either violence, chaos, or other means.
So, Okoe, can we flip the coin of what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay. That in view of how important that establishment is, and how that is where all unresolved conflicts can be resolved.
Yes.
Is that not also a reason why that institution and those who have the opportunity of being in that institution or working in that institution also have a greater responsibility to act in ways that engender confidence and trust, and not give the slightest indication that they, okay, I don't want to use pliant, that you know, people cannot trust that institution for what the institution is meant to be.
Look, I don't know how to put this, but when the Constitution, 92 Constitution was being drafted, with all due respect, the government that was in power, the one that supervised the process, more or less, put everything in place and order. The antecedent is that of the NDC. You get what I mean? Look, I have a serious problem. And if they are suffering anything today, they are a victim of their own creation. I don't want to say conspiracy, but creation and schemes.
Explain that.
Yes. Why would you put a constitution together that says that the Chief Justice should be nominated by the head of the executive? He has a serious problem with that.
Okay.
Why do you put together a constitution that says that the IGP, the man who handles security in the whole country, should be nominated by the president? Why do you put in place a constitution that says that the one who will be in charge of the game, the football match, that determines who a president is, should be nominated by the sitting president? The manager. It's because that time they thought they were trying to do things to favor someone, not favor, but like to make someone who was there happy. Doc, Ghana, I've always said it, if this country will mean business, these things should have changed or be removed long time. But because, granted, what we have currently is what we have. Doc, have you realized that sometimes an elder can tell you, usually when you come to this house, knock first. There's a rule, sometimes there are rules. Then one day, when you knock, that same elder can tell you that you shouldn't have knocked. You see, sometimes there are rules on paper. Those, and forgive me, they say that they call them lords, Doc. Look, it's because of politics sometimes make a lot of noise. Those who have been in this game for long, when you see someone on the Supreme Court, before they get there, no matter what you have against them, they are not fools, they are not simple men. The Bible normally uses the word simple. A simple man is one who is not complex, who is easy. The mind is not sophisticated. Anyone on the Supreme Court in any country is not a fool. They have complex minds. There are times when they take a decision, in the interest of the whole country. If you ask them, why did you take this? Sometimes you don't get. And let me give you a classical example. I'm saying this so that George will understand that democracy is a complex experiment. It's not straight like that. When we went to the Supreme Court in 2012, I sat down because I watched the proceedings, meticulously. I was very, I paid a lot of attention. Then, just before the judgment came, before the day of the judgment, I told a friend that, see, judges in arriving at a judgment, they behave like someone who is working an equation in two variables. They will show you all the procedure and processes that will arrive at the answer. And that this was what I predicted. I told the fellow that this court, if they should go by the lines and proceedings we've watched, must come to the place where they will say the sitting president is not a president. But this is my opinion then and my prediction. A decision like that, the ramifications for the country could be so dire that this court would like to have an answer which will not match the equation. No, this is my analysis. And so I told the fellow, watch out. The biggest task for this court now is to come and tell us JM is still president, but to show us how they arrived there. Those equations that should show how they arrived didn't come. They didn't read, like other judgment words that they read the content of how they arrived. 5-4, 6-4, 3-4. I feel like to the set that later the results were wrong. They had to come and correct it.
Yeah, but this thing is available.
Oh, it came. That's what I'm talking about, wisdom.
No, but judges do that all the time.
No, I know. But by the time the results, of course,
be careful because you're also impugning.
No. Yeah. I mean, any judge who is watching me, my position where I'm going is not. I said that.
You know why I'm saying that? Because you see, after that judgment, there was this thing that was held. I've forgotten a venue, whether National Theatre or whatever.
Yes.
And they took the decision of the judges. Yeah. Some of the people who today, I see them write on social media and ask for people to be hauled before the Supreme Court and others. Yeah. That thing they did and took the judgment and got people who they say were legal, whatever, to come and analyze and show which judge was wrong and how they did what and used all manner of adjectives against them. Yes.
Look, my point is that I have not said judges are pliable, they are malleable, they cannot. No. But the point I'm making is that it would have been a difficult task. And look at the criticism. If they had read how they arrived at the decision and on the same day mentioned the decision. And I'm telling you that to give your justification or the breakdown later, things would have settled. This is my position. So my wish was that. And there are many cases where a judge takes time to read how, at least the executive, they arrive at their decision. This is the point I'm making. This is the kind of criticism your friend in the US told you. Take the matter, go to line by line, show how you did not agree. I'm telling you the sequence. The sequence I preferred was read the justification and give me the results. But at the same time, I saw the wisdom. The wisdom was
are you saying that, let me just clear this thing, because people are also watching.
Yeah.
So impressions and all that. Are you saying that when eventually you saw the basis for the decision, you could not reconcile the basis for the verdict?
Yeah, for me,
you couldn't.
Yes, I couldn't.
So what you're saying is that the basis and the decision they don't tally.
Excellent. No.
So what did the judge? So in that case, the judges were what, pliant?
No, but any lawyer who takes, but this is so basic. Any lawyer who takes a judgment and says I don't agree with the judgment, basically what they are telling you is that the cases made by the judge in arriving at the decision, they don't agree with the cases.
Yeah.
They have, they think otherwise. Maybe the judge referred to this article, they think it could have been. So that is what they mean by criticizing a court. It is to go for the details. And then when you pick this argument, show the other argument. Are you know what I'm saying? So, as for saying that you don't agree with the decision of a court and going to the details, and in fact, the reason why reviews is good, this has come to mind. The reason why sometimes a judge will give a judgment and upon review, the decision is overturned. It's because the disagreement made at the earlier point is argued at a higher point and bought by the others. Is that not it? Yes, or like a position in your